Hey there everybody, it's Atherbeerstan back here again with some forestry action on the Infinity server. Oop, there's a skeleton, hope he doesn't see us. Hello, goodbye, don't mind me. No, I said don't mind me, yes, go that way. Let's just go and flip our pollinators real quick before we get off to a proper start. Gotta make sure these trees are breeding. This is an integral part of our long-term plan. Good trees. We're going to use trees to generate power. In fact, I think either next episode or the one after, we're going to get that tree farm going and we're going to automate it to produce us some charcoal so that we can have charcoal power. And we're going to cheat just a little bit and bring in some tech that I made back at the base and use that to get power to the rest of the world. So we have the results of our bee house experiment. We have some random drones, which were just me finishing up this cloning process, getting all of these guys cloned over. So let's get this started real quick. We'll see, this will be another interesting experiment. We'll see if this process or this process... Oh, oops, I don't want you in there. Luckily... see, but unfortunately that's not a fair comparison. Because these guys I had to breed for 5 generations, some of them. And these guys have just been sitting in a chest the whole time, waiting for those guys to get caught up. So let's grab our beealizer. Actually, let's sleep. We're the only ones on the server, so we can sleep at our leisure. I think if we just wander out to the edge here, we're far enough away from the mob spawner. And then we can have our bees doing good things while we beealize. So what do we get? Common noble. It looks like we are pretty much exactly where we started. Noble. Except we've got an extra noble drone now, so I guess we run them through for another generation. Let's check in with our trees. Just real quick, I don't know if much has happened. The server is on all the time, so chunk-loaded areas would be pollinating constantly, except that I thought we had some grafters lying about. Do we not? There's one. Except nobody's here turning the bees over, so there's no well, we got quite a few. So there's no pollination going during most of that time. If I had ever finished a sentence. I'm really good at interrupting myself. As I occasionally review my own videos, I realize how often I do that. I'm gonna maybe try to work on that, because sometimes I realize that I don't finish important thoughts and I interrupt myself and I never come back. Oh, bronze. Okay. So I have this thing. And there's a story behind it. One of the other players, if you've been watching, if you've been faithfully following along, one of the other players, how do we do this? No, is it shift? Yes, shift and the wheel. Home. One of the other players played a prank on me, and it was a pretty harmless prank, frankly. Wasn't a big deal. But it had an unfortunate consequence. The tree that was grown in my vicinity intersected with my portal gun portal, and I haven't been able to do a lot of things well, I wasn't able to use portal guns at all. Even just clicking the button with a portal gun in my hand would cause either the server to crash or me to crash. So I made this thing. I took a big detour to the end and flew around and got a bunch of draconium and made this thing so that I could get around without the need for a portal gun. So that's where that came from. And now, as it turns out, we've kind of solved the problem, but even still, portal guns are glitchy as crazy. Let's see, let's make 3 of these. We'll compromise. Glitchy like you wouldn't believe, and so I'm still having a lot of problems going through the portal. Pretty much every time, the first time I log onto the server and I come to this base, I get disconnected and there's still a phantom Aether beer stand connected to the server, and so then I have to wait 5 or 10 minutes for him to get booted, and I'm just sitting there standing by, so that's kind of sucking. So I'm just going back to the Draconic Evolution, which runs off of Ender Pearls, which we got plenty of Ender Pearls, so no sweat there. That looks like something a little bit different. When we get there, a wild cherry sapling. Okay, we've got that. Sweet. Chestnut. Hot. Sweet. Sweet. I feel like Beavis and Butthead when I say that, but not. Okay, if you remember who Beavis and Butthead are, you're probably as old as I am. Just saying. Fogey. What do we got that we don't need? We don't need common walnuts. We don't need any of this stuff. We only are interested in new species and chestnut. Hey, we only need 1 more chestnut sapling. What do you know about that, guys? I'm going to put that on our hotbar so that we can know about that when we get it. Bing. There's a pretty good shot that we're going to get this right now. And then I've been holding out on you guys. There it is. There it is. Let's go up here. Oh no. Let's go down here. And okay, so what are we going to do with this, and how? What we're going to do, what do we got over here? Acorn oak. And sweet chestnut that's been sitting there this whole time. That's been... Say what? Okay, so we got 5. What are we going to do? We're going to... Are you joking me? The farm keeps picking it up. Okay, you can have it, fine. Jeez. We're going to set up a second multi-farm, and I haven't figured out where just yet. Maybe over here, except this shrubland biome is dry, and it's going to take... Well, we don't really care about that. Extra water. Water's free. Either that or down here. Maybe down here. Anyway, we're going to set up a second multi-farm, and we're going to set it as a manual farm, and it's going to harvest our things like sugarcane and our nut trees and things of that nature. Wow, I can't believe we got our walnuts already. I would actually have expected to get farther along with the bees before now. Okay, we need some inventory space. I'm not seeing anything noble on first gloss. That's a little bit frustrating. What's going on here? Didn't we start all these guys at the same time? And all of them are done, and this guy's not. Like, even going. What's wrong with you, guy? I'm a little bit concerned by that. I don't know what's going on. Let me run quick and make some inventory space, because this is a pretty good assortment of things. Well, we can do this. And I'm going to have to go 1,000 different places to put it all where it goes. Rather than dump it all in a chest, I'll just cut and be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I've got inventory space. Let's examine these bees. Oh man, forgot to R my inventory before I started recording. Okay, there we go. Let's see what we got. These guys still not doing. Let's go ahead and sleep real quick so we can keep them doing. I think they last longer in the bee houses. I can't remember. Could be the case. Would explain some things. They sure are taking their sweet time. Oh, there wouldn't be anything in there, guy. These bee houses are confusing me. I feel so confused. Realize. Cultivated diligent. Cultivated common. Common noble. Okay, that's good stuff. Common cultivated. So none of that really helping us because, I mean, here's what we'll do. Let's do this again. Actually, that might be a mistake. We might want this. No, it won't matter. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. It don't matter. I tore down the power for these machines because I'm planning to power the farm with that equipment, and that guy is still picking up saplings. That's hilarious. And you know, for all that talk about not throwing stuff in chests, I just threw everything in a chest. Couldn't resist. I want to power this guy with peat and then use this to, yeah, I got this set up as a temporary thing, which I don't even think I used. Actually, I think it just had a little residual energy, and that's what it's using to plant these saplings that are coming up. But I think if one of them were to grow, it would probably not be able to chop it. I want to make sure I got plenty of room for this redstone wiring that I had set up. I could probably compact it a little bit. I didn't really take a long time to puzzle out anything fancy. I just wanted something that would work. Inventory full of bees. I'll tell you what, that'll happen a lot. Doing forestry, yeah, sure will. So, we don't have what we need to do this on us. I'll have to track that down. Okay, well, let's move on. Let's talk about some tree breeding, because we've accomplished our goal. In fact, while we're talking about tree breeding, let's chop us down a tree. That was good times. Oh, wither. So that's it. We got our chestnut tree, so now what do? That certainly can't be the end of tree breeding, can it? Why, no. It certainly is not the end of tree breeding. We have goals and plenty to keep us busy. So, my goal, I've done this before, so I know it's doable. It might sound a little bit unbelievable to you guys, but my goal is to generate at least, at a bare minimum, 20,000 RF per tick using a 7x7 tree farm. Okay? 49 tree saplings are going to generate us over 20,000 RF a tick. That's the goal. I know it's possible. I'm going to show you guys how I do it, and we're going to have a lot of fun in the process. So, what we are interested in... Ooh, we are out of honey drops. Well, what we are interested in is getting some honey drops. Let's quick and unload that stuff. Okay. Probably just need half a stack in here. We'll save the rest for the beealizer because it goes through them quite a bit faster. So, how do we make power using trees? The cool thing about tree power is you can use it at any phase of the game. Okay? Meaning in the beginning of the game, you chop down a tree, you get some wood, you throw it in a furnace, you make charcoal, you put it in a Stirling generator or something equivalent. You've got early game power. It's easy, it's renewable, and it's free, and actually pretty easy to automate. Now, mid-game power comes from not the Stirling engine. No, we're looking for the forestry engines. Where are we at? Electrical, peat-fired, biogas. Biogas engine runs off of, guess what? Biogas, yep. Big surprise there. Now the biogas engine can actually run off of other fuels, I believe, but biogas. Why is there no forestry biogas? Well, anyway, what we need is a fermenter. And what the fermenter does, not too expensive, a whole bunch of bronze, so like 24 bronze and a little bit of glass. What it does is it turns, let's go make one. Oh, I don't think I have enough bronze. We'd have to make bronze, and I'm going to go make some bronze, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you the internal workings of the machine, and we'll explain a little bit about how this power is going to work. Okay, got some bronze. No. Yeah. And I know there are more efficient ways to make gears, but frankly at the moment, for the cost of 4 iron, I can't be bothered. Not too worried about it. When I go to make maybe a dozen of these things, no, not, can't use the quite clear glass. Okay. It seems like a silly thing, but here we go. Quite clear glass, regular glass. Oops, forgot about that. Probably don't want to click on it with the dislocation charm either. Fermenter, and the reason that I really wanted to make this and show you guys this way is because it has a very complex interface, and trying to explain it would just confuse everyone, probably including me. So the way that it works is you put in some stuff that you want to, we're going to use fruit juice. You need some sort of a catalyst. You can just use honey, you can just use water, or you can use fruit juice or honey. But the fruit juice or the honey gives you a 50% increase in the yield, the overall yield from this machine. So fruit juice is what we're going to use, and in order to get fruit juice, we're going to use apples. So that's one of the reasons that we're concerned with apple production. I don't know if you've caught that I'm kind of been hinting towards that this whole time, but we're going to need an ample supply of apples. In the bottom slot here goes mulch, which is a byproduct of making the apple juice, so we'll have plenty of that. That'll be no problem. In the top goes some kind of organic material like wheat or saplings. We're going to have an overflow of saplings in abundance, so saplings are actually going to be our fuel source. Apples, saplings, mulch is going to power everything for us, and that will get us biomass, which is actually, I believe those biogas engines will run on biomass. So that is the process by which we are going to gain power using strictly forestry methods. We will be cheating a little bit. We're going to use some other technology to transmit power, and we're going to use some other technology to automate the tree farm, but you'll understand why later. Those multi-farms are a super pain in the butt to automate. Where are we at bee-wise? Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? So maybe we can, let's grab some common drones. We'll use these guys that have been identified, because they don't stack with drones that have not been identified, and most of our drones will not be identified. So get rid of these that are not going to stack. And I made the mistake last time of trying to clone bees in these apiaries over here with the soul frames, which is a waste of the soul frames, frankly. Shouldn't we have one more princess, I thought? Where'd she go? I thought we had 4. Did I drop her? Gotta remember to not realize things around the vacuum hopper. Dang, might have lost a princess there, guys. Diligent noble. This is our diligent queen. If we need more diligent drones, which we have a few of, we probably want to put her in, and we're going to need diligent. That's going to be important here pretty soon. Oh yeah, there's our steadfast. Cranking out the drones. We've got that, and we're going to, oops, let's go ahead and grab ourselves something else over here. Blue Sagni was nice enough. Now we want to give him a pristine, not a Valiant. Valiant is a good bee. We want to save the Valiant. What do we got? The meadow is pristine. Yes, okay. We want to give him a pristine bee, so that there's no chance he's going to lose the strain. And we'll do this over here. We're going to clone him a steadfast bee, so that he can have the strain. The least that we can do for him bringing it to us is share it with him. Right? Thanks, Blue. Okay, let's go over here and sleep. So we were talking about tree breeding and why we might, well, so now that we've talked about power and how we're going to produce power, now we can really discuss tree breeding in a meaningful way, because otherwise we're just talking about words on a page. But now if we look at some of these traits, saplings, for example, indicates the number of saplings that a tree produces. So a sapling with a lower production rate of, or a tree rather, with a lower production rate of saplings is going to produce necessarily less fuel, right? Now, matures, how quickly the tree grows, is also a big factor. A faster maturation time is going to yield more fuel over time. So these are traits that we need to be very concerned with. Yield is the amount of fruit that it's going to produce. So that's an important thing, because we want apples. We want it to produce apples, and we want preferably more rather than less. And then sappiness is also very important. This is the amount of fuel produced by each sapling. Now we want to get the highest sappiness that we can get. And if we get a combination of all these traits, you can start to see how one tree can actually provide you with a tremendous amount of power. And you can get these trees to grow really, really fast. And this is without even cheating with things like sprinklers and things from other mods that would cause it to grow faster. This is just strictly within the forestry realm. So we want to start looking for trees that have the traits we want. Now I happen to know most of them. The first one we want is, what is it called? I have completely lost it. Well, we want the blue maho. That's one that we want along the way. And the blue maho is good. CS high, sappiness is high, and that is actually the highest. There is no tree in the game currently with a sappiness rating of highest or even higher. So high is as good as it gets. So what does it take to get us a blue maho? Balsa and desert acacia. Well, balsa is actually the one that I was looking for. Balsa has saplings high, the very top one. It's triple drop rate on saplings. So we want teak and acacia. How do we get teak? Dark oak and jungle pollen. So we're going to have to go on a little bit of a mission to accomplish that one. I have neither of those things. I might have a jungle sapling, maybe. I think I have a jungle sapling because I wanted to grow some cocoa beans, but I definitely don't have a dark oak sapling. So we're going to have to track down at least a dark oak. Hello, goodbye. Where'd it go? We don't want to lose those. That's a lot of hard work. In fact, let's I'm not sure. Let's plant them right here because I'm kind of liking the idea of just like covering this whole thing in trees. And I think I got my watering can out, yeah. Just to grow us a big tree. Maybe. Grow. What is it? It's the northwest sapling. That is the active one. Come on now. Like Jeopardy. Okay, well maybe it's shy. Maybe it just wants to grow when we're not looking. So what else do we need to do? Need to clone these bees. Are they going? No. Oh, they're over here. How are they doing? Okay, well, I'm going to cut out then, and, well, let's check on these guys real quick. No, they're still going. Yeah, I'm going to cut out and probably just dink around until these guys finish running, and then we'll cut back in and see where we're at. So, yeah, I'll be right back. So, I got bored waiting for bees to rotate through. I came down and powered up the farm real quick, tracked down the rest of what we needed to get that going. It's exactly the same automation that we had going on before, so there's nothing really to explain. It's literally identical. The only thing missing is all the other machinery. So, yeah, there's that. I think our bees are all set. We're still cloning, but I'm pretty sure these guys, they were really close when I went down there to do that, so yeah, these guys are all done. Not very promising, quite frankly. Only a single noble trait visible in the whole mess. Let's see about a beealizer. And I need to get some of this food out of my inventory too. Got a little bit of ice cream to finish up. Agni is getting into Pam's harvest craft with a pretty serious passion, and he made me some food. I couldn't turn it down. It was delicious. Realize some stuff. What do we got here? What are our queens? Common noble. Common noble. So that's not looking horrible. Still noble. Well, pretty much the same stuff. Let's run them through again, I suppose. That's going to take forever, but there it is. Ba-doo. Actually, you know what? There is no chance at a mutation here. Common and noble don't make anything. Got stuff going on over here. Occupado. Everything's occupied. There we go. Let's make sure yeah, we're good to go there. Throw you in there. I don't know why we're doing that the slow way. Okay, what else we got going on over here? That guy needs to go through for another generation. And that guy's good for another second. And we're good there. The next thing we want to do, we need diligent queen. We actually need a diligent princess, which is going to take just a few minutes. Let me breed this down. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Here's our diligent princess. It's interesting that those drones didn't stack. Apparently we still got a little bit of instability in some of our breeds, but we'll be taking care of that as we go along. What we need right now, actually what we need right now is to go look at our board. briefly. Oh, wither flower. So we bred to common by breeding 2 hive bees, right? We've got a display. I think there might be a couple of hive bees missing, but these are all the ones that I have. We've got marshy, forest, meadows, tropical, wintry, rocky, water, modest, unusual, sorceress, ender, and end. Nether bees. What are they called? They're not called. They're embittered. I think they're called embittered bees. Anyway, any 2 of those breeds to common, and then we breed common back with any other hive species, and that gets us forward to cultivated, right? Now we're going to breed back again, and then cultivated back to common gets us to diligent, right? It also gets us to noble, but we don't have a noble bee to pin up, so we'll just have to imagine. Now guess what we have to do? You guessed it. We have to take diligent and breed it back with cultivated. So let's go grab ourselves a cultivated bee and wither again. You know what? You get wither when you break it, so might as well just break it when you get withered, right? In fact, while we're withered, let's break that one too. No, there's a party in here, and there's a party in here, and I think we gotta go here before we find a place where there's no party. Oh no, wait, we want those in there, because we are trying to make a mutation now. So that hopefully will get us unweary bees, which is the next step up in the evolution of that family. Let's go out here on a ledge and catch us 40 winks real quick. And then we'll talk about another quick trick that I learned, and then we'll probably cut away and wait for some bees to rain still. It's going to stop. Okay, good. Thank you. So, all this work that we're doing, and imagine, okay, we come over here and eureka, we get this great new bee, but we've got an inventory full of crap drones, and we go over to our garbage can and we accidentally shift click our brand new bee into our garbage can and we never see it again. And then we kill ourselves because we just did all that work for nothing and we have to go do it all again. So, what we do is we throw our bees in a chest. Right? Okay? That is connected to the garbage can that is activated on a redstone signal. So now when you're sure you don't need those bees anymore, you can flush the toilet and all your bees that you don't want go away. But until you're sure, don't flush the toilet, okay? And anytime basically that we're doing this kind of stuff, you got these single drones that don't stack with anything else, they're garbage. These guys, oops, junk. These guys, junk. Total junk, okay? You want to realize them, you want to look, you want to think, maybe there's something I can use them for. There's not. They're junk. All you end up doing is wasting a bunch of time and honey drops. Trust me, I've done it multiple times. There's no point. There's just no point. None of this stuff is going to give you anything worthwhile. Every once in a while, you might get some random trait like I was talking about before, where you got a bee that suddenly works a little bit faster than it's supposed to, but it's not worth it. We're going to get all those traits anyway, and we're going to get them systematically, and that's going to be that. Oh, what just happened there? I'm not sure what we were breeding in there. It was a... Wow, okay, let's see if that's a pure bee. Ancient Diligent. It is not. So what? Let's see what these other two guys are. That's Diligent Noble. I'm pretty sure I was just cloning a diligent bee. Let's just take a quick look at what we might use an ancient bee for. It gets us to prehistoric. Or primeval. So you can see here, ancient plus secluded equals primeval, and then primeval back with ancient gets you prehistoric. So again, you're breeding backwards. And what do they get us? An old comb. Which does what? Gets us nothing. So until we get down the line, I don't think we need to worry about that. Ancient princess is cool, but we will breed to that intentionally someday. So bye bye ancient trait, and we're just going to turn you into a diligent because we need more diligent. And you keep doing what you're doing because we're going to cross you with a diligent as well. We got to try to, with a diligent, cultivated and diligent, and that guy I think is just breeding down. This is why it's important to come up with areas, which we've kind of done, and we kind of have abandoned the system. It's nice to come up with little areas, like this area is specifically for cloning bees, and this area is specifically for crossbreeding bees, and this area is specifically for not mutations, and then have a completely separate area set up for your production bees. That way you're not walking down the line going, yeah, these guys are cloning, these guys are cloning, these guys are cloning, these guys, what are they doing? Are they crossing or cloning? I don't know what's going on in that box. So that's, yeah. It's a situation worth avoiding, let's say that. Alright, let's make one more quick run through our bees and see what needs to be done. And then I think, let's see, maybe these guys are done. Nope. Nope. And nope. Okay, so I'm gonna cut out, I think, for one more generation, get all these bees straight, and then we'll come back and beelize, and with any luck we can get maybe a noble bee this episode. That would be great. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so here are the results of our latest attempts. Oh, whoops, wrong pocket. Common noble. We're still hanging on to that common noble. Noble. Common noble. There's a straight noble and a straight noble. Well, logic tells us that if we crossbreed any bee long enough, it is supposed to get there. So this can't take too much longer. Let's keep on going. Eventually we've got to get the bee that we need. I mean, it has to happen eventually. It's just a numbers game. Noble. Lovely. And then we got one more box to check. No, not you. There we go. Cultivated, unweary. That's what we're looking for. Let's see. Cultivated diligent. So there's a pure breed, unweary. Production speed is normal. That's a great trait right there. And an unweary diligent. Let us go. Let's grab. This will be a great little thing just before we cut out this episode. We're not going to get to a noble bee, or not to a purebred anyway, I don't think, this episode, but let's take these guys down. We've got a cultivated diligent, an unweary diligent. So let's see what happens if we cross that. Right? Okay. So, cultivated diligent. Let's got diligent, cultivated, and unweary, diligent. Okay, so unweary, diligent. So let's think about this. Cultivated and unweary is no mutation. So that's just going to be junk. Diligent and unweary, however, actually does have a mutation. That gets us to the industrious bee. So that's a potential mutation that we actually don't want. I mean, eventually we want the industrious bee, but right now we want to stabilize this bee. The cultivated and diligent is the mutation that we want, and that would get us the unweary bee. See if we could get that, maybe we could stabilize this. Otherwise we have cultivated. So you can see like our chances there of getting the bee that we need are astronomical, quite frankly. They're just not, it's not worth it. I can't see making that work. Cultivated diligent. Now if we were to, I think, just breed that with a straight diligent bee, that would be the way to go. That would give us a chance of breeding out the cultivated, which we wouldn't care about, or it would give us a chance of mutating with the cultivated and achieving that unweary trait. Or we could just clone it back and then try a fresh breed. So let's do a little experiment by crossing this with a diligent bee. I think that guy is a pure diligent. Oh no, that's diligent noble. We definitely don't want to use that. What about you? Diligent drone, yeah. So if we cross those two, we'll see what we come up with. Done yet. Oh, it's dark. Well, anyway guys, I'm gonna cut the episode there. Unfortunately, we didn't quite get our noble bees this episode, but I think we're getting very close. My next video after this is going to be a Steve's Factory Manager tutorial for the purposes of automating that tree farm, because you'll see. It's a lot of work, and even with Steve's Factory Manager, it's going to be a trick. So we'll have to figure out how to get all that sorted out. Until next time, guys, you make sure and click that like button. Maybe even think about clicking that subscribe button. And definitely consider having a wonderful day.